as the city of Tshwane fails to reach consensus at a municipal level regarding budgets and administration, service delivery continues to suffer. Lower levels of infrastructure maintenance, poor refuse removal and cable theft continue to plague parts of Pretoria West. Our reporter Ahmed Kajee is in Laudium at an illegal dumping site. Ahmed, I believe there is that dumping site behind you. It looks like it's pretty stacked up with refuse. I know we can't smell it, but what is it like there on the scene?
Thanks very much, Erin. Yes, the stench is from this illegal dumping site is strong up in the air, and perhaps for us we just here for a few moments in the greater scheme of things, but for the residents in and around the area, this is something that they have to deal with on a daily basis. Many of the residents over here have to deal with the impact of what comes with an illegal dumping site, the ill health, smells, perhaps even some of the substances which goes up into the air, as well as the rodents which a site like this would normally attract. So these are just some of the major challenges which this community is facing. But in the greater scheme of things, what we have seen from the city of Tshwane over the last few months, the constant motions of no confidence, the failure to pass an adequate budget at the legislature level, this has resulted in no real campaigns being successfully implemented from the respective mayors and the respective administrations, and this has meant that the service delivery in these particular areas has unfortunately not been delivered for the residents. And this is just one of the major impacts which we are seeing over here. Cable theft is a major challenge, and then the repairing and the replacement of these respective cables has not been coming through. So alongside load shedding, which has been impacting the rest of the country, even when the power happens to return to specific areas due to the cable theft and the lack of the replacement and the infrastructure maintenance, that unfortunately doesn't take place as well. So it's not just a particularly illegal dumping in this area in the Tshwane West region, but it just seems that it goes beyond that as well. I'm now going to bring into the conversation one of the officials from the Ward 61 Councillor's office, Mr. Shakil, thanks for your time again today. We were at the swimming pool a few moments ago as well. This particular illegal dumping site, the refuse removal in this area seems to also be another challenge you are facing.
Thank you, Ahmed. The one behind us is just one of the illegal dumping sites. This has become now the norm in the area. Because of the poor refuse collection and because of the poor state in which the new service provider is currently in, people are forced now to create their own dumping sites. Laudium used to have a dumping site where people could go and dump their garden refuse and the normal legal waste, as they call it. That has been shut down completely because of a sinkhole that developed. Never ever redeveloped it, never ever reopened it. So we don't have a dumping site. So residents are doing this on their own. This is a major issue for us. This is a complaint that we've been taking forward continuously daily. We've been trying to get to a point where we even went with a recommendation to the city for plots like this, for people to try and adopt it, to utilize it maybe for vegetable gardening or something that can be productive. But the city does not have any resources at the moment. The reason why the refuse is in this state behind me currently is the city of Tshwane has cut its budget completely with regards to the EPWPs, which had the resources of a TLB and trucks which used to collect every second day. This is refuse that's not collected at all for the past week. The EPWPs are coming and doing refuse collection physically by hands, and it's a health hazard. This is part of one. This is actually, we can say, like in a movie, this is part one of the many problems that we're facing with dumping. You mentioned earlier with regards to the illegal cable theft and whatever. It's sites like this which enable the vagrants to hide and to do their illegal activity. Behind there's a whole lot of drug dealing, there's a whole lot of drug addicts, and this is all just what we are currently experiencing in the city, which the city bylaws are not being enforced at all. Why do we have these bylaw departments when we're selective on where we're enforcing these bylaws? Our main issue currently in the area as well is the recent issue with the pylons that fell. Laudium currently has the same thing where people have been calling for the illegal scrap metal dealers and scrap metal businesses to be shut down. Because of this, we're having an issue with the cable theft, with all the theft of surrounding metals. But our local police, the police around the area, the bylaws enforcement officers are turning a blind eye to this. So we seek help in that regard.
Very briefly, have you seen a change in people actually leaving the area?
A lot of people have been frustrated. A lot of people have left the area. A lot of people feel that Laudium is being neglected. A lot of people feel that they're not going to get the services. And while they can still get something from their properties, from the sale of their properties, they are letting go of it. And we're trying to avoid this by trying to restore, rebuild. But we cannot do it if we don't have the backing of the city. And the city seems to be ignoring our pleas continuously.
Shakil, thanks very much for your time. We'll probably be in touch as we got through the rest of the day. Just looking at the service delivery out here, Aaron, in the Tshwane East region in Laudium, as well as the neighboring Erasmia region as well. It seems that this particular area is battling major challenges when it comes through to service delivery. And as we just heard, with many people leaving the area, this is perhaps a microcosm of what we're seeing at a national level, with many people also leaving the country due to service delivery not being implemented at the rate that it should be. But we will be continuing our coverage here from Laudium in Pretoria West to just see what other major challenges this particular area is facing. Our next stop will be coming through from just looking at the illegal cable theft to which Shakil had mentioned. We'll be touching base and going to that area a bit later on. Aaron.
Ahmed, certainly a multitude of issues present there, and as you say, people who can leaving the area, one wonders then what happens to those who simply don't have that choice. We'll check in with you later on as you make your way through Laudium this afternoon.